Oh hey book lovers! I came up with the idea for this video last night when I was going to bed, so I just turned the camera on. I haven't really thought it through yet what I'm gonna say. So you know what we're gonna do is we're gonna have some coffee and get the thoughts flowing. And alright, so what I want to talk about is books that I reread. I realize that I have so many books, like a lot of books. And I haven't read at least 300 of them, so that means that I don't really have time to reread a lot of books. It's like, life is short. Life's too short to reread books. That's not true, I don't want to say that. But, I mean, I have so many books to choose from that I want to read eventually that it's like, it's difficult to say, oh, well, I'm going to go back to this one I already read. So I don't do it that often, even though sometimes I love a book so much, and I think it would be really nice if I get the chance to read this again, already like knowing the ending, and you just go back and kind of see how things play out, especially as a writer. As a writer, like rereading books, really good books, helps you figure out like how the author like accomplished what they accomplished. But I don't reread that many books, so what I'm just going to do is I'm going to go look at my shelves and I'm going to see the books that I have reread, and I'm going to talk to you guys about them because I guess that means they're my favorites, right? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. Okay, I'm back and I grabbed my books and there was more than I thought there would be actually, so that's good. That's a good thing. The thing is, the ones that I reread seem to be the ones that I read in high school and have reread since then, or even multiple times in high school. But I mean, they're older books. More time to let them sit on my shelf and want to reread them, I guess, right? Right. Okay, so I'm going to start with the standalone books, meaning a lot of these are standalones, but meaning not part of a series and also not like I reread everything by that author. Does that make sense? Okay, so I Love You, Beth Cooper by Larry Doyle. As you can see, that's not because I read it that much. It was marked up because I was using it in a grad lecture that I did. But I read this in high school, fell in love with it, loved it ever since. And I really wanted to pick it up again because I heard it. It's really funny. It's a really funny boy book, but it's sweet. It was also made into a movie with Hayden Panettiere, and the movie kind of, eh. It was okay, actually. Wasn't as bad as... I've got Youth in Revolt by C.D. Payne. This was also made into a movie. That was terrible. Okay, so, read this in high school. Gave it to all my friends to read. Another funny boy book. There's just all sorts of crazy hijinks going on in this book. Like, out of control, like, unrealistic things. And I love it so much. There's actually a couple follow-up novels to this, and I have not read them. And I want to so badly. But anyway, I have read this only twice. Only twice. I mean, it's a big book. But I read it twice because it's worth it. It's good. Next we have Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. Hey, also made into a movie that didn't suck because Emma Watson was in it. And also because the guy who wrote the book wrote the movie and directed it. He's kind of awesome. So I'm sure you guys have heard of Perks of Being a Wallflower, but read this in high school and have read it multiple times since. Classic. This is classic young adult literature to me. Is it weird that my first three choices have been boy YA? Yeah, I write about boys too, so I don't know. I guess I'm just a sucker for boys in YA. Next we've got Speak by Laurie Halse Anderson. Again, this is classic YA, and I'm sure you guys have heard of Speak. If you haven't, look it up and read it. Oh, hey, this was also made into a movie with my #1 girl crush, Kristen Stewart. I love Kristen Stewart, and one of the reasons I love her is because she makes really cool movie choices. Besides Twilight, even though, I mean, that was obviously a brilliant career move, but she does a lot of, like, just really good, not hugely popular movies. Yeah, that's words failing. Need more coffee. Read this book. Now I've got 3 series on this list. The first, surprise, surprise, is the Harry Potter series. I actually haven't read every book more than once. Actually, I think the only book in the series I haven't read more than once is Order of the Phoenix. I've read twice except Order of the Phoenix. The first 3 I've read like more than twice, but yeah. I need to read Order of the Phoenix a second time this year. That's a goal. Make that a goal for me. Thanks, guys. Okay. I don't know what you making it a goal means. Remind me of it. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, Harry Potter, duh. I feel like a lot of these books in this video are going to be books I talk about all the time because they're my favorites, but this is, I just grabbed one random one. This is the Stephanie Plum Bounty Hunter series by Janet Ivanovich. The first book is One for the Money. I haven't read the entire series more than once. There's 20 books now, but I've read the first like 5 or 6 a couple times because they're so good, and I got into a part where I wanted to reread them just because I wanted something super, super, super fun. They're so good, guys. This is adult. I think the only adult in this pile, but I love these books so much. And finally, I'm sure I've talked about these many times on this channel, but the Sloppy First series by Megan McCafferty. This is Sloppy First and Second Helpings. There's 5 books in this series, and actually, she's now starting a prequel series. I just read the first book in the prequel series, and there's another one coming out, and that's exciting. But the prequel series takes place in like middle school, whereas these are high school, and that's my thing. These books were like my high school experience. But I read them, then I made all my friends read them, like all my friends, guys. So we all loved them, and we all just like are attached to these characters, and Marcus Flutie, guys. Marcus Flutie. That's my book boyfriend. Yep. If you like contemporary YA, kind of romance, a lot of snark going on in these books. Oh my goodness. Jessica Darling is my hero. I wish I had wrote these books. This is why I didn't write them. I wish I had written these books because they are freaking amazing. And now 2 of my favoriteest authors ever. John Green. I have reread Looking for Alaska. I have reread An Abundance of Catherines. Again, I used them for school, but that's not why I reread them. I reread Will Grayson, Will Grayson. I did not reread The Fault in Our Stars because that is my least favorite John Green book, and I don't want to talk about it. Don't argue with me. And I haven't reread Paper Towns, but that is also, that is my goal for this year too. Reread Paper Towns because I really loved that book, and I need to reread it. I could reread this. Nope. Well, I love this one. But I could read this like a million times. I think I will eventually. Like, you know, that's going to be one of those books that I just keep going back to. How can you not? How can you not? Oh, the feels. And the author that seriously got me into YA, Sarah Dessen, talked about her a million times, I think, too, but I got This Lullaby, I've got Dreamland. When I read her books for the first time, I think the first one I read was Just Listen. I read it and I was like, ooh. And then I was like, oh my goodness, and I looked her up and I grabbed everything she had and I read everything she's written since. But my point was, blah, 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 babble. So she got me to realize that YA was like a big thing, and she got me to realize, hey, I could write this. I want to write YA. So I owe her, like, everything. I owe her everything. Yeah. Anyway, guys, yeah. I will always reread Sarah Dessen. So, that's basically it. But as I was going through my books, I found a couple that I really want to reread that, like, really, like, I've been wanting to for a long time and just haven't gotten around to it. My 3rd favorite YA author, Courtney Summers. I consider her my favorite. I've read everything she's written, which is only 4 novels so far. This is Cracked Up to Be was her first, Some Girls Are was her second, and then Fall for Anything was her 3rd. This Is Not a Test was her 4th, and she has a new one coming out this year called All the Rage. Is it coming out this year? It better be coming out this year because I've been waiting a long time for that book. You better get writing. I see you on Twitter, like, making those comments about how you're not writing. Right. Like she's reading this, watching this. Things, words, okay. These are really dark YA, like, messed up stuff. Messed up stuff going on, guys, but I love these books. I freaking, oh. This is on my list for this year, too, though, to reread all of her books. I love her so much. So, if you guys have stuck around, what am I doing? What am I doing? Okay, if you guys have stuck around this long, well, thank you. That's all, because I'm weird. Anyway, let me know down in the comments, or make a video. You should totally make a video and say what books you reread. What books mean that much to you that you just, like, you know, you just want to hug them, which I've demonstrated by hugging books. I think I hugged a few books. Okay. That's all. Book people are the best people. I like you. We're friends. Bye! Now go read any of these books. I'm not going to hold them up because then they would fall everywhere, but reread something. Reread, read. Read it for the first time. I don't know what I'm saying. Bye!